And when it comes to what, LinkedIn, how do we get visible? How do we get seen on LinkedIn? LinkedIn gives different weighting to various forms. Now, for those of you that are watching the recording, this was recorded in August 2020. Now, the reality is the LinkedIn algorithm changes all the time. So if you're watching this, say 3, 6, 9 months down the line, it may have changed the weighting. So if you're reading this and it's a while since it's recorded, take this with a pinch of salt. At the moment, the weighting that LinkedIn gives to various forms tends to be based around dwell time. The best stuff is content that encourages dwell time and keeps you within the site. So uploading raw video, uploading documents, PDFs, slide decks. LinkedIn loves this stuff. But also controversial discussions that get lots of comment. Now, we're not talking what I call noise, like, do you prefer ginger biscuits to digestive biscuits? Should we call them cookies or should we call them biscuits? This is just noise. You'll get a lot of your audience going, I can't believe I just did that, and unfollow you. So what you want to do is make sure when you do the discussions that it is stuff that is still relevant to your audience, that they may have a view on. So my most popular discussion recently was about, as a female, does society condition us that if we want to get to the senior positions in life, curls are a no-no? Just at the moment, you might see I've got rather a lot of curls. I'm embracing my natural curls, but let's be honest, think about the female partners in your firm. How many of them have got grey hair, and how many of them have got curly hair, and how many of them have both got curly and grey hair? And absolutely, Newton, it's great. Share a press article on your views on it, the bank results. Absolutely. The worst thing you can do is what I call dump and run, where you just dump the article and leave it there. What's your views? What's your take on it? If you've only got 30 minutes a day, how can you borrow other people's content? Of course, credit if you need it, So for example, this was written by one of my great colleagues, Simon, in the firm, but here's what I think is great about it and why it's relevant for you. Sharing posts, it's just a waste of time. I look at it and I probably get 5% of the reach when I share a post. It just doesn't go any further. But look at, things to really look at the stuff that can increase the dwell time. So a long micro update with no image really, really can help. So factors that can help that post get more reach. I've talked about it. People don't want to engage with robots. There's a lot of thing of, has LinkedIn become the new Facebook? Oh, that dialogue's been happening for about 5-6 years now. It's a theme that keeps coming back and back and back. But we have to remember, and actually LinkedIn has got more humanized since lockdown. We've had more of a need to connect with people as an individual. And so, yes, you will see a little bit more Facebook-like stuff. And actually this stuff is all right. One of the best updates you can put is, welcome to my new son or daughter, or congratulations to my daughter, I never thought it would happen, or I'm so pleased to become a member of this institute. You know what? People just can't help but go, oh, that's great news. Like, comment, congratulations. It's interaction. And actually how quickly someone interacts with the content is a big factor in whether it gets amplified by LinkedIn. So do be prepared to share your good news. Remember, your good news stuff, particularly when it's business related, is part of that content journey. People want to know that you're successful to help them get in touch with you. So these are ideas that can help your posts get more reach. But how do you decide on what to share? So we've already talked a little bit about the buying journey, but it's really about thinking, what is interesting to my clients? What content do they find interesting? Now, if you don't know that, go into the Go To Expert course, go and do module 1 and do your desk-based research that will encourage you to do that. Because actually, if you haven't done that, we're dancing in the dark and we won't be using our limited time effectively. Then go and hang out where your connections hang out. What's the hashtag that they look at? What hashtags do they follow? Where do they go for? What do they do? You need to be where they hang out. Then you need to be part of the conversation. Stuff like LinkedIn, you get far more traction if you're prepared to comment, like, discuss things, rather than sitting there and reading. And then finally, call to action. How does this link to your business development plan? There's no good if you want to say, for example, Heather, connect with lots of accountants. It's no good picking up loads of, say, marketing agencies. Yeah, it might be great for our ego, particularly if they write us something nice. Oh, I really liked your article. If they're not relevant, they're not relevant. So what does make that good content? As I've said, it's got to be relevant. Limit the amount of self-serving content you share. And I mean that genuinely. A little bit's all right. It's got to be well written and easy to understood. Try not to put stuff behind paywall, and if it is behind a paywall, put it right at the very start. Look, this is behind the Times paywall, which is one of the paywalls of the newspapers in the UK. Sorry if you're not a reader, but this was really interesting. Think about putting a bit of a headline or a blurb, something that entices people, or a question that entices them to read through. But also put a personal voice to the content you're sharing by putting your opinion or comments with the content you're sharing. Now, how do you show up in your connections newsfeed? The best way is about going and commenting and liking and sharing their stuff. Commenting is a really powerful way to get lots of profile views. You comment on their stuff, they're more likely to get shown your stuff, and vice versa. But one of the things, if you've got that half an hour a day, is be on LinkedIn daily. Put a timer on, 10 minutes a day, LinkedIn. And actually use that. And your comments don't need to be an essay. Sometimes I write stuff and thanks for sharing such great tips. But it's all about that visibility. Remember, I want to be top of mind with the people that matter to me. And don't be afraid to share people-orientated stuff. As I said, human first, human first, professional second. If you're going to an event or a webinar, who else is coming? Welcome new people to your team. These updates are worth doing.